Hi everyone, today is July 25th, 2025. This is video number 20 in this series about my rotator cuff surgery. You may recall from the other videos, if you watched any of them, I had some tears in my rotator cuff, I had some bicep damage, I have several anchors that were put into my shoulder, and that all happened back on February 4th, so 170 days ago. I can't believe that it's almost been 6 months since the surgery. Everything has gone really well. Today I have full use of my arm again. I can put it above my head. I can reach behind my back. So things are just about back to normal. The only thing left really, and the doctor said this could take up to an entire year, is just to get all the strength back. But I'm not limited to anything. I'm able to work out several days a week. I lift weights. I do a lot of shoulder work now because I don't want to have to go do this again. And that's my advice to everyone, is just do some shoulder exercises. Keep the mobility and the strength, so when you do have some accident or something that hurts it, maybe it won't be as bad. As all things with medical and surgery happen, though, it's time to pay the bills, or I've been paying the bills all along, and I wanted to share one last video and just show you how much this thing costs and really point out how ridiculous the medical system here in the United States is. So along the way, I received 3 different bills, and I broke them down as follows, and you can just follow along on the screen now. So bill number 1 was for the surgery center and the hardware that they put into my arm, into my shoulder, so the cost of the hospital essentially. And you can see that that was a pretty big number overall, and you can see the different figures as it breaks down here with an insurance write-off. And this is just the craziest part, is how much the insurance paid, how much I had to pay, and what the total cost was. So if you see here, the total cost of everything was a pretty big number that added up to $57,000. Out of that $57,000, there was an insurance write-off of $49,861. So $49,000, it's like having a coupon applied to the surgery. So almost 50 grand evaporated right there. Thankfully, I have insurance. The insurance company paid $6,500 worth of it, and $731 was my responsibility. So bill number 1, I paid $731, the insurance company paid $6,500, and we got almost a $50,000 coupon or discount because I have insurance. So it's just kind of crazy that the medical system has to do that. Bill number 2, this was for the surgeon, fantastic surgeon. I have not mentioned his name anywhere in here, but just a great experience overall, and I'd say just find somebody that you're really comfortable with. His assistant, the cost of my sling. So this was broken into several different portions here, and you can see that the sling was $179. I paid $50 up front. The insurance didn't cover any of it, not sure why, so I had to pay another $129 for the sling. For the surgeon's fees during the surgery, the different things there added up to almost $31,000. We have another insurance adjustment coupon, if you will, for $26,000. The insurance company paid $3,659, and that left my responsibility at just over $550. So $129 and $550, and then the last bit was for the surgeon's assistant, who came out to be $29,000 billed. There was a $28,754 insurance adjustment. Makes no sense. The insurance company paid just short of $400, so $393, which left $43 out of my pocket, or our pocket here, my wife and I pocket, to pay the other 43 bucks. So the total there was another $730 that we had to pay. So from bill number 1, we paid $731. From bill number 2, we paid $730. Now let's get into the anesthesia portion of this. So there, of course, there was an anesthesiologist as part of this. The fees from that were a total of $3,200. Out of that $3,200, insurance paid $1,171. There was an insurance adjustment of $1,900, which left $130 out of our pocket. And then last, if we combine everything here and we look at it all together, you can see that the total bills add up to $120,000, $120,481 for the shoulder surgery. It's crazy. I was there for 3 hours, let's call it 4 or 5 hours total, that I was actually in the facility from the time I arrived in the morning until they sent me home that day. So 120 grand. Out of that, we have the insurance adjustment of $107,000, which is kind of nuts. If you think about it and break it down, that means the surgery really costs $13,449. So when you get rid of the bogus $107,000 uplift, if you will, it left $13,449 left over. The insurance company paid $11,807. which was about 87% or 88% of the bill. I had previously paid $50 early on for the sling, and then the last was the total responsibility out of our pocket was $1,591. So it's great to have insurance. It's a little bit crazy that the medical system has to play these games and inflate the bill by more than $100,000 just to get paid $13,000. You know, if they came out and said this thing's going to cost $13,450, that's a big difference than someone saying, hey, it's going to cost 120 grand. What I would love to understand, and I just don't know, is what if we didn't have insurance? If I didn't have health insurance, would I be expected to pay $120,000, or would they be happy if I just paid the $13,449? If anybody knows, leave me a comment. But that's it. 20 videos, well worth it. Absolutely. I'm glad I got the surgery. I truly needed it, and it has made all the difference in the world. It's been a great summer so far, and that's why I did it in February, because I wanted to feel or be back to pretty close to normal by the time the weather turned nice, and feeling really good. So if you're on the fence about rotator cuff surgery and you have a problem and you can't use your arm the way you're supposed to, go get it looked at. It's well worth it. Hopefully you have insurance. I'd love to know what the cost really would be if we didn't. See you later on. Bye.